Season 3 has been out for like a few days now. And I feel like I have a good idea about where everybody is in the meta currently. So, to start off, I think the best tank in the game still is Emma. It's close, but I still think it's Emma. Diamond form, really good to dive. Her shield and her left click is really good to poke, especially when she's max charge. Insane. Her ult is really good at canceling other ults too, as in like negating value out of other ults essentially. And also forcing ults. So I mean, all things considered, she's also a bully. She's like the best 1v1 tank. She makes every other tank's life hell. The next tank, I think, who is really close to her being number 1 is exactly the same as last season, Magneto. I don't think there's anything to be said. Like, Magneto is just the best all-around tank. Whenever you need one tank and you're solo tanking, you just go Magneto because he's the best all around. If you're ever going to learn to tank, yeah, learn Magneto because he's just the best tank in the game. Okay, so that's S tier. I think that's the S tier tanks. Now A tier, I think there's a lot of tanks on A tier. I think Cap is really good. I think these are more like situational stuff, right? Like when one is better than the other. I think Cap is a really good dive tank. Because he has so much survivability. He also does a decent amount of damage. Triple support he's kind of weak into, but otherwise I think he's good into like pretty much everything. Strange also, you can go for double shield if you need to. You know, if one of these are banned, you can go double shield. His ult can be pretty good. I mean, it's negated quite a lot, but now that his burst damage is a bit more reliant, he's also really, really good. So I think Strange is also in that pocket. Thing is now also really good. I think he went from like a C tier to like an A tier in my opinion now. He's good into the flyers and flyer comps because of his new ability. He's also good, extra good now into dive heroes. He doesn't have to pay as much attention. He can just immediately jump to the dive hero and slam them if he needs to. Yeah, I think he definitely has his situations, but I think he's pretty good still. I think Groot, though, is still slightly better. Especially if you have the Wolverine banned. If Wolverine's banned, then Groot can be like really, really good. Like Wolverine and Punisher, should I say, I guess. Wolverine and Punisher banned. Groot's gonna be really, really good. Hulk is really, really good, especially Hulk Namor now I think is becoming more of a common pick, and I think it's actually pretty decent, especially with the Namor buffs. A good Hulk, like, can really, really ruin your day. Like, he can make the game really, really freaking hard to play. His shields are really, really good, too. Just being able to take out somebody from the fight for, like, a few seconds, like, with his exile is kind of insane, too. And the final tank, I think, in A tier is gonna be Venom. I think Venom's still really good. I think Cap's a better dive hero, a dive tank still, but the Tendril slow is probably, is quite insane. I think he's still, like, the weakest out of all these. But I still think he's a really good tank. Next, these are like map dependent though. I mean, to be honest, same with Venom is kind of map dependent, but I still think these are map dependent. And Penny and Thor are both here. Actually, probably Thor's C. I think Penny has more opportunities, especially if you have the Rocket team up. I think there's like more situations where she's decent. But Thor, I just cannot figure out why you would ever pick him over any other tank. I just don't know. I really don't know. His ult's kind of eh. His damage is good, like his burst damage is good, but like he's so easily punishable. It's kind of crazy. So I think he's kind of like, I think he's definitely the worst tank in the game. Next up, we have supports. Best supports in the game still, I don't think anybody would deny this is, actually no, Luna. Once again, her damage is insane. Her freaking healing is really good. Her Snowflake's OP. Her ult is OP. Her clap is really, really good too. Her freeze can also be really good into dive if you can actually freaking hit it. Second is Loki. The runes are really, really, really good. His burst healing, I think he has the highest healing per second if he has all his clones up. Same with damage from a support. And also, if he has a Luna on his team, it just makes him OP because he can copy Luna ult and he can get it faster, because one of the drawbacks of Luna ult is that it takes long to get. I think it's the longest support ult to get, but Loki's is one of the quickest ones, I think. So you can get it. You can get a Luna ult for like, you know, barely anything. And actually, third best support, I think, is Cloak and Dagger. Maybe I'll put her down to A, but she's like A+, because she's like, if Luna and Loki is banned, Luna or Loki is banned, Cloak and Dagger suddenly becomes the best support. Cloak and Dagger, I think, once you get to the higher elos and people are coordinating shit and like people know, like Cloaks know when to use their Terror Cape, is really good. It's really good, especially if Mag is banned. Cloak and Dagger is actually insane. Her bubble and like just any sort of healing towards her makes her invincible to dive. Her Shroud is really, really good to countering ults. Basically, a good Cloak and Dagger is insane. The issue is that a lot of Cloak and Daggers aren't very good. And the people who pick Cloak and Dagger aren't very good at the game. So majority of the players, this does not apply to. Majority of the players is probably B tier, maybe A tier. But good Cloak and Dagger players, I'm telling you, they can make or break games. Like their ult timings can be really, really good. They know how to hide away from mag ults, from Iron Man ults, from all these counter ults. I mean, probably Invis, I'd say, is probably the third best. Good ult, good peel, good damage. I mean, she's not front loaded, so it's easier for her to get more healing out. And I think more damage too. I think Adam's still in this like weird niche where like he's only going to triple supports. That kind of leaves him a bit weird. Like him and Ultron, even Ultron actually, to be honest. Both of them are in this situation where you can't really pick them out of triple support, or you're kind of throwing because you don't have enough healing. Ultron, I guess, has more opportunity because his ult can actually like negate stuff like Storm Jeff. He is very vulnerable in his ult, so he needs to pocket, but I think he has like I think he's better than Adam, to be honest. I'd argue maybe putting him in A, but because he's so reliant on triple support, I'm putting him in B. Which means I might actually put Adam in C, to be honest. Next up will be Rocket, Jeff, Mantis. I actually think Mantis is probably better this season. Yeah, I think Mantis is better this season. I think the buff actually did decent to her, and I don't think she actually needs to be in triple support anymore. I think her healing's actually decent now. I think she's still lacking on the ult side of things because there's just... You compare it to Luna, Loki. Luna, she can't really die in her ult unless like takes coordination to take down her shield and whatever. And even so, she's zooming. She also has her damage boost. Like Loki can copy that. Cloak and Shroud if shit's gonna come at her. Invis can jump away from it. Mantis's ult. Mantis can just die so easily in her ult. Even though it's the most balanced support ult out of all of these four, she's still a B tier, in my opinion. I think Rocket's pretty like on the same page as her. Maybe more team comp reliant on like depending on like if you're going up against dive, like you have like more of a survivable pick if you go like Rocket. So, you know, dive characters can't actually get to use as easily because you're self-sustain. Your ult's still kind of meh. I mean, depending on the comp you're going up against, but the ult, like, especially against now Jean can like immediately like erase it. So, And now finally Jeff. I still think Jeff is C tier. I don't think Jeff is very good. Obviously, Storm Jeff is decent, but it's so easily counterable now. Everyone knows how to counter it. He's more annoying than anything. I don't think he's very good. I think he's annoying. So those are my opinions on the supports. I mean, I might just do that. Actually, I don't know. Maybe these are all on the same page, to be honest. Getting value out of Adam Rez is so weird too, though. Right. Now, let's get into the DPS. S tier DPS, in my opinion, remains Wolverine. I don't care. Get this guy out of here. Even before he got the team up, he was an S tier pick. Now with the team up, he's even more freaking insane. I mean, I haven't really seen him too much because he's just banned all the time, but I agree with the ban wholeheartedly. Like I said, even last season, I think he was very, very ban worthy. And this season, I think it just continues, to be honest. Next up, I would say the second best DPS in the game is definitely is a bit more map dependent. I think Hela is still probably up there. She hasn't really changed much. I mean, the 2-tap is enough. Her constant pressure is enough. Same with Storm. I think Storm is up there probably. Maybe an A tier, to be honest, but maybe I'll move her down. But I think maybe she is S tier. And Punisher. Punisher is really good. Punisher can like, the pressure you can output, the damage he can get from his ultimate too, now that he's no longer like moving at snail's pace. Depends on the comp you're running. Once again, he is also vulnerable to like dive and stuff. I mean, his shotgun's still really good, but he can be vulnerable to dive. But like, overall, he's a really, really good pick, I think. Okay, I'll move Storm down. In the next A tier, I have Psylocke. Actually, I'm gonna put her S tier, actually. I still think she's really, really good. If with Emma, she's an S tier. Without Emma, she's an A tier, I think. So I'll put her A tier. The team up allows her to have so much more pressure and like lethality. Without Emma, I still think she's a really, really good pick. I mean, Loki kind of messes with her ult, but with like some coordination, it's not even that difficult to like get through. But yeah, it is easily counterable if it's more stacked. Just her neutral game is just so good, dude. Her neutral game is just insane. Next is Namor. The damage buff. I think he was already a decent pick before. Well, he was okay before, and now the damage buff and made it easier for his left clicks to hit. Definitely put him up to A tier, I think. His ult's really good too at one-shotting shit. Especially with the Luna team, with Luna's damage boost. Hulk Namor, once again, still really good picks. Into dive too. I'm seeing it quite a lot. Namor, definitely a solid pick. Next, I'd actually put Torch. I know a lot of people don't play him. I don't know why people don't play him. Even though he got nerfed this season, I still think he's an insane pick. I still think he's one of the best flyers. I think he's better than Iron Man. And a lot of people are banning Iron Man. I think he's better than Iron Man. The only reason I think Iron Man is good right now probably is because of his being able to cancel like support ults. The amount of pressure he can put out, the shotgun damage is still insane. And he gets Spidey's team up. Guys, please play Torch. Please. Next in A tier, I think is going to be Jean. I think Jean is still good, but it depends on the team comps. I think she's good all the time, but she's extremely good into team comps that are like more together, like maps that are more together. She's also good into like, deployable comps, like if you have running Loki or if you're running like Penny, Rocket on the enemy team, you know, those kind of characters. She's really good into those. Star-Lord, I still think he's good. If there's Loki, it makes it a bit hard to play. But I think Star-Lord is still pretty good. Yeah, his ult's insane. His neutral is pretty decent too, but like there's other people who have like better neutral. Like Salak I think has better neutral than him. But I think he's I mean you kind of play him to farm ult realistically, but also he's good at marking people and good at being annoying. Yeah, I'll put BP up here. Yeah, his burst is really good. I think it's the same as every other dive hero. It's just the fact that everybody's now playing him more, that people are thinking that he's ban worthy. But people just need to learn how to click against him. I think you can pick Thing and just shit on him. I think you can pick like Bucky and shit on him. You can pick Invis and shit on him. You can pick Torch is still good into him too. Iron Man is still good into him too. Yeah, I think he's overhyped. I still think he's good, but the reason I ban him is because I don't trust my backline. If people communicated and people knew how to counter him, he would not be as OP as everybody's saying. And finally, A-tier, I think... Yeah, I think Bucky's probably A-tier still. I think he's just so solid. He's always a solid pick. He's good as an anti-dive character. He's got a decent amount of HP. His left click does freaking... like, you know, burst damage, like AoE damage. He's good in flyers because he can ground flyers. His ultimate's a bit weird. I think it's pretty good, but to some team comps, it's really hard to pull off a good ultimate. But maybe that's just me. But overall, I mean, his team up's kind of ass though. But overall, I think he's still a really good pick. I think he's a solid pick. I think he's one of those characters. I think he's like a DPS that will never be bad because he's just so good into like almost every situation. Next up, I'm gonna go with Iron Man. I think Iron Man is a B tier. Oh, B tier. I mean, maybe teetering on A tier, but I think he's still B tier. I don't think his neutral is just as good as everybody says it is. His poke got nerfed too. I mean, his ult's really good at countering other ults. But when we're in a meta with like fucking Emma, Mag, and even Strange being played a lot, like, brother, all you gotta do is just shield your support for like that one split second when the ult's about to go out. And you're done. And you're good. I also think, yeah, he loses the 1v1 to like... Storm has better range than him. Human Torch can... If he's up close, he can like 2-tap him. I mean, yeah. Next up, we've got Squirrel Girl. I think Squirrel Girl is a lot better than people are giving her credit for, especially on the new map. I think Squirrel Girl is really good. And on closed maps, I think she's really, really freaking strong. On open maps, not so great, but I think she's pretty good. Mr. Fent, I would agree, also is in B tier. Yeah, I think he's pretty decent. He's very, very annoying. I don't see him getting work done, but he denies so much. I think he's very good at denying stuff. And eventually... your team's gonna cook. I think Moon Knight can be in that category too. Moon Knight is good into triple support still. I mean, he's good also into Groot, to be fair. And he does have like a tricky playstyle where he can like, you know, get a lot of picks. I guess his ult is only really good in like if you're comboing with like Thing or Strange or Groot or someone like that. I feel like just throwing out the ult is kind of like but otherwise I think he's an okay pick. I'd probably put Magic here. I think she's still... Actually, I'm tempted to put Magic in B tier, to be honest. I haven't seen too much of her, but I think... Nah, I'll put her in C tier. I'll put her in C tier. I mean, you can pick Thing, and Thing kind of like... Things are kind of decent right now. And it kind of just cooks you. These lower echelon characters are now going to be kind of tough to decide. The Fister, actually, I think is D tier. I don't think there's... Actually, yeah, maybe I'll put her in C tier too, actually. Fuck it. I think the Fister is good at denying dive when you have a Luna. The team up is really good. He's only good at bullying tanks realistically. I don't think he's good at much else, to be honest. Getting picks on unaware characters, but like people aren't very like that unaware in high elo. So actually, you know what? I missed Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye's probably in B tier too. I don't think he's consistent enough, but I think a good Hawkeye can actually like ruin lives. A pocketed good Hawkeye can ruin lives for sure. Not as good as Hela. The team up isn't as good anymore, but I mean, I'm glad people aren't running it because it's freaking bullshit. Next up, I think Widow is actually in C tier. I don't think she's that bad. I think it just requires somebody to have really good aim with her. If they have good aim, cooks. I mean, speaking of the god himself who rated us, Kenzo, he's insane on Black Widow. I mean, bro's also been playing a lot of Jean Grey, but yeah, he's insane on Black Widow. And she's not the worst. She's been like F tier before, but I think her kick combo is good into dive. She's good long range too, especially if you have a Mantis, and Mantis is now more played. Next up in that city is Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is the final person in that tier list. I think in that like level. I think that Spider-Man is just not very good without the team up. And with the team up, he cannot really finish things on their own, people on their own, unless... I mean, there's small situations, but it's so hard to finish things off on your own. With the team up, it's a lot easier, for sure. There's a lot of situations to use a team up, but Torch doesn't really play that much. Even though he's a really good character, in my opinion, he's just not played that much. So you barely get to use the team up unless you're queuing with someone who's playing Torch. Yeah, his ult's kind of ass now too because of the damage decrease. The pulls off the map are still really strong though. So you got to give him that. But like, if that's the only thing, is that the only thing he's doing, bro? I think he's on par with like, I'd say Magic is better than him, but I think he's on par with Iron Fist and Widow right now. And Wanda, I would say, is still the worst character in the game. With the team up, with the Strange team up, she's okay. Like with the Strange team up, she's probably like B tier. Without the Strange team up, I'm gonna be real. Why are you picking this character? Just why? There's no reason to pick this character. The only time you pick this character is if Namor and Bucky are banned and you need to counter dive. Then you pick Wanda. Otherwise, don't pick Wanda. Terrible character. Yeah. Let me see this. Let me see. This is my final tier list. Let's have a look. Do we agree with this, guys? Would we change anything? By the way, this tier list, just because they're low characters, does not mean that you can't play them in high ranks. It just means that other characters are just better. You just get a lot more for a lot less with other characters. The only one I'm not sure about is maybe putting Hawkeye up to A tier and Iron Man up to A tier. What do we think? Should I put Hawkeye and Iron Man up to A tier? Maybe I will put them up to A. And I'll put a Hawkeye like there. Ban worthy. Gets value regardless of comp. Requires certain comps. Oh, situational. Not really worth picking. Boom. But if I'm doing that, not really worth picking, then would I put Adam up? Should I put Adam here then? Yeah, maybe I'll do that actually. This makes more sense, I think.